The politicians want their power back.
That's what they want to do, is take us backwards. This is why it is important for you to vote no on Proposition 50.
California voters established an independent commission led by citizens to stop rigged elections. Prop 50 cancels this historic reform, putting the politicians back in charge.
The Constitution does not start we the politicians, it starts with we the people.
Trust citizens, not politicians. No on 50.
Democracy. We got to protect it and we got to go and fight for it.
California voters stopped rigged elections by approving an independent redistricting commission where citizens decide, not politicians.
Prop 50 suspends this historic reform, destroying our reputation as a national leader for fair elections.
Prop 50 destroys congressional districts created by the Citizen Commission, letting politicians rig new districts for themselves, sacrificing fair elections and voter choice.
Don't let Prop 50 take us backwards. Keep California a leader for reform. Vote no on 50.
Welcome to California First. My name is Dennis. And as usual, we need to wait a little bit. Wait a little bit for the notification to get out, and hopefully everyone will join me. I hope more people can join me today. Very interesting topic today. Exposing the climate change hoax. Trump talked about that yesterday, and my guess is not everyone is watching my channel every day, so I'm going to repeat it today. Looks like today I'm kind of so right now I'm waiting, but I will first talk about free speech first. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer, wait for more people and come in, and then wait for more people, and I will start playing this video about Joe Rogan reaction to Jimmy Kimmel's monologue. It's very funny. It's very interesting. The perspective the Joe Rogan have about Jimmy Kimmel. Also, I will share what I think about Willie. We've been talking about Jimmy Kimmel for a couple of days, and still thinking he don't deserve to return to. He doesn't deserve to return it to ABC. Okay, so far I think I see 36 people already here. So I will start. So I'll play the video.
Kimmel has this sort of go f yourself style.
Even though he didn't know it, Friday was his last show, which means this is what will be immortalized as Tucker's final segment on Fox News. A guy showing up with a pizza he ordered.
This is sausage and pineapple.
Because kind of ironically, he celebrated in his monologue when Tucker Carlson got fired. It's kind of a problem.
Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know.
And it's also kind of a problem that in his monologue talked about how it was the right thing to fire Roseanne. A little bit of a problem.
Give you one last dance with one of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
Also a problem, he thought the unvaccinated shouldn't get hospital care if there's people who are vaccinated that need that room. It's, oh, vaccinated person who's had a heart attack, come right in here, sir. Unvaxxed person who gobbled horse goo, rest in peace, Wheezy. Like, that was the joke. Kimmel has this sort sort of go yourself style.
Even though he didn't know it, Friday was his last show, which means this is what will be immortalized as Tucker's final segment on Fox News. A guy showing up with a pizza he ordered.
This is sausage and pineapple.
Because kind of ironically, he celebrated in his monologue when Tucker Carlson got fired. It's kind of a problem.
Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know.
It's also kind of a problem that in his monologue talked about how it was the right thing to fire Roseanne. A little bit of a problem.
Give you one last dance with one of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
Also a problem, he thought the unvaccinated shouldn't get hospital care if there's people who are vaccinated that need that room. It's, oh, vaccinated person who's had a heart attack, come right in here, sir. Unvaxxed person who gobbled horse goo, rest in peace, Wheezy. Like, that was the joke. Kimmel.
We can actually compare Jimmy Kimmel, and Tucker Carlson, okay, and see the difference. You like to see when that happened about Tucker Carlson. And nothing, Tucker Carlson just laugh at it. And he started his own show on the YouTube or podcast, and he got support, and he make good money now because he know what he can do, and he know his audience. And Jimmy Kimmel just cry. Jimmy Kimmel just cry baby. This is how it is. You want to talk about left and right. It's obvious the comparison. And Tucker Carlson is just presenting, fat. And I did a couple days already about how Jimmy Kimmel mocked President Trump in a way without fat, okay? He just put things out of context. And then that's why, and his rating is so low. And it's not funny too, because he using someone else that misfortune, tragedy, and put it in the joke. So, and now he was he's quite I don't even know how he does that. He's quite, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, something like that, It's just so stupid, okay? And so the left and right, the MAGA or right Republican, whatever you want to call us, we move on. We see things, we don't just go out and tell people, oh man, abuse freedom of speech, harassing freedom of speech. I got 2 YouTube channels got suspended, terminated. Facebook keeps suspending. Instagram, I cannot do live, and X, 2 account also suspended. Okay, back then. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about back then. And you can see I put how free speech won. I'm going to put out the what's this mean? See, when it didn't happen to you, when this didn't happen to you, you laugh. You think I deserve it because are spreading misinformation. Someone, I don't even know how to, CODMXL, Chinese misinformation. This is not Chinese misinformation. This is real information. And yeah, some people should not be on social media. Well, I don't think so. I think everyone should be allowed on social media. I think that's the freedom we have. Everyone deserves. And even Jimmy Kimmel, I think he see, even ABC fire him. He can try start his own YouTube channel and see what happens. Because he is not funny. He is so bad. You see, Bill Maher got fired, got kicked out, and that's how Jimmy Kimmel took that spot. Before that, it was Bill Maher's spot. Time slot from Bill Maher. The political incorrectness. If you owe enough, you know about that, okay? Bill Maher is for free speech. So we don't care about political correctness, okay? They killed Charlie over his speech. Yeah, they did. And Charlie didn't do anything wrong, okay? So that's very sad. And finally, finally we get this. Let me see, open it. Yeah. Big win for freedom. Finally. This is from House Judiciary GOP. They post today. And that's what Elon responded. Well done. I almost want to cry. Because I'm also a free speech advocate. Because as you see, I'm from Hong Kong, and people who know what's going on in Hong Kong, Hong Kong got the free speech suppressed. So I'm free speech advocate, and I was surprised what happened. Why in America same thing happened in America. 2 YouTube channels terminated. 2 suspended. Instagram cannot do live. Lots of stuff. Back then, what I did was sharing about COVID. What I did was sharing COVID, the vaccine, also about Trump, okay? And I got suspended. And now finally, we have this. Today, thanks to the oversight of Chairman Jim Gordon, thank you. Google commit to offer all creators previous kick off YouTube due to political speech violation on topics such as COVID-19 and election on opportunities to return to the platform. So, I don't know, right now I already have 2, I restart 2 YouTube account. So if that come back, that will be great. So I will see you on that account too. I don't know. Will be too many accounts. Yeah. So, well, thank God Trump's in office, and now this is great. And also Elon Musk respond to this because he is really a free speech advocate. That's why he bought X. He bought Twitter. If without him buying Twitter, I think we will have a more difficult fight to get Trump into office. And I always appreciate, even Trump and Elon got disagreement, I still support Elon Musk. As long as he's not going to start the American party, because that doesn't make sense in political, wise. In political perspective, that totally doesn't make sense. Okay, if you really want freedom, and it's just some little minor disagreement between Trump and Elon Musk, and overall direction is make America great again and free speech. So, well, I'm glad, and also I'm going to show you a video, another video, and this one is treasure. It's amazing. It's amazing from Benny Johnson. I don't know if anyone know who is Benny Johnson. Your source are total garbage. Try harder. What source? The source is X. It's from committee, from the judicial GOP. What are you talking about? I bet okay. Make what great again? You hear me? Okay. So Colin O'Brien. Okay, you miss Colin O'Brien. Someone miss Colin O'Brien. Oh, Roxanne never got retired after she got fired for nothing. Yeah, also. Okay. Roxanne. See? But they just laugh and move on. They didn't complain, go around everywhere telling people, hey, come support me and suppress of free speech. Let's just move on. We know it's suppression of free speech. And now this Benny Johnson, let's enjoy it.
If we don't hang together, we will surely hang separately, which is exactly what Elon Musk told me. So backstage, Elon Musk embraces Erica Kirk, and she's crying in his arms, and they're hugging, and it's really profound. This was after the speeches. This was after the program. And this is the words that Elon Musk said to us in this small little group with Erica Kirk. And he said, this is why I was proud to sit with my president. This is what he called Trump, my president today. He accepted Trump's invitation to go up there, and the majority of the event Elon Musk sent sitting there with Donald Trump, chewing it up. Everyone can see here's the photos of Elon embracing Erica, and then there are photos of Elon with Trump, and they seem to be having a great time. Dana White also there. What not only was the size and scope of this and the peacefulness of it a profound eulogy for Charlie and his memory, but the cornerstone of it all, to unite the world's most powerful, richest private civilian with the world's most powerful public figure, Donald Trump. Charlie said in this chair right here, he hoped that it happened. There's a clip that went viral yesterday. Charlie saying, I pray that Elon Musk and Donald Trump reconcile. And they did so at Charlie's funeral in Charlie's memory. Mm-hmm. A profound and beautiful example of what Charlie constantly was doing for our movement. And he fused together the greatest schism that we've seen in the nascent Trump administration. He just fixed Trump and Elon together. We saw it live. And it's like the power of Charlie crying out. I mean, after death, crying out, and like still the power of Charlie, like bringing together these tectonic forces that should not reconcile. These are two stubborn men. These are two men that don't need each other, honestly. But Elon Musk told me this. He hugs Erica Kirk. He looks to all of us and he goes, if we don't hang together, we will surely hang separately. So let us unite. I was proud to sit with my president tonight. That's what Elon told us. That's what Elon told us backstage. Wow. And so, again, just as a little behind-the-scenes vignette here, what you watched yesterday, what tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people saw yesterday, definitely hundreds of millions saw yesterday, was a beautiful encapsulation, eulogizing, and memorial to Charlie with his energy pulsing through every bit of it.
I think many of us have same wish. When Trump and Elon Musk got disagreement, but hey, this is we have no idea what's going to happen in the future. How are they? What they going to do together? Would they join again, do something political together? I don't know. We have no idea. But this is a great picture, you know. Elon Musk is very simple. He always say he's not a entrepreneur. He say he is an engineer. He loves engineering, but he just can't stand with people controlling the speech. So he become a free speech advocate. And Benny Johnson, he has ups and downs. I like him. I like him a lot. He's funny too, and his ups and downs, and I like his show. Of course, there's so many of them. Okay, but I don't support him. Yeah. And oh, you just find Patrick Colden. I thought you were here before. You know. I just find the dumbest audience. Dumbest audience. Dumbest audience. Okay. We appreciate free speech, and I will appreciate don't abuse the free speech. Okay? That's what the Democrat does. Abusing free speech. And we are upholding the free speech. Those are two different. Okay? Those are two different mentality. Okay. It'll be fun. It's going to be fun program because next we're going to talk about the climate change. Okay. Before I go to the climate change, let me see one more thing because as a friend request, I help him promote this magic show.
The Asian sensation, idol of magic, Louis Yan, bringing his world touring spectacular, My Faith, for the very first time in Las Vegas at Resorts World. On October 25th, get ready for a mind-blowing night of wonder and surprises. An unforgettable magic experience you can't afford to miss. Log on to AXS for tickets and information.
Description, the detail are on description. So just show instead of only politics, something fun. You can go and do some fun thing instead of just having just politics. Okay, and next is really fun part also because I'm going to show you how dumb Newsom is. And this is what happened. Why Trump talked about climate change yesterday and telling the people about the climate change hoax all of a sudden, maybe because of this. Because Trump knows Newsom is going to mess around and make things. He's not building anything. Gavin Newsom in California is mess up everything. So he's going to mess up. Same thing. Try to mess up the UN stuff. The meeting. After this, no way Newsom can be president. After I show you what's going to, after I show you what's next, because this is so dumb. This California president, California governor, and he want to be a president. It's obvious, and he go talk to those climate action, clean energy, innovation, all those people from Australia. And right here, this is the PM. We take action on climate change, see? And if we talk to people from Australia or Australians, and they know how bad their governments are, it's really bad. I think the time difference, no Australian will be here. They are probably sleeping. See, this is LH. What do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You know Trump doesn't care about you, do? You're wasting your time, see? This is a left-thought mentality. Self-centered. The left, they only, in their mind, they are all about me. Okay? That's the left thought. That's why they, when they think about, will Trump know about who I am? Trump doesn't know who I am. Charlie Kirk doesn't know who I am. Okay? Benny Johnson doesn't know who I am. Okay? The point, that is not important. The important thing is they are doing productive thing. I am trying to share the information on YouTube. That's it. Okay? And people, if you can go back to yesterday video, then you can see how Trump really care about our country. It's not about me. Because the Democrats, the left thoughts, their mindset is about me. And then they have the projective thinking. I also have another video, but in Chinese, I'm sorry, about what is projective thinking. They project. Because they're self-centered, selfish, and they project. I'm sorry, man. The truth hurt. I try to read as quick as possible because keep coming up, keep going up. Left thought. I like to use the word left thoughts. And some people, they're radical left, all different terms. I like to use the word left thoughts because it's combining of left and retard. And I checked dictionary, and actually there's a word, because at the beginning when I create left plus retard, okay, maybe I should type it out. Left plus retard equal left thought. Let me put Okay, I respond. Someone say I didn't read the comment. I did. I cannot control a lot of buttons, at the same time typing, I don't have I'm all solo. You are a hateful person. Well, whatever you say. Retard. Yeah, after I create, hey, create something for yourself. Gut, okay? I created left heart. they already been calling everyone mega or all kind of names already. So that's why they should have some other names. I create some name for them. Why not? Okay. Domestic. Oh, yeah, he did. Domestic terrorist. Yeah. If you type any hatred stuff, threaten me, then I will report you. But I'm still a free speech advocate. So no, you didn't comment. What? Okay. Tiananmen Square, 1989. I support. Yeah. I'm anti-CCP. Well, everyone in my community, hey Tony, don't type too much. Hey Tony, Tim, okay, you're flushing because you're making a lot of people cannot see the comment. Yeah, Dennis is a Hong Konger from Los Angeles. I'm anti-CCP. So hey, well, I'm in America, so I no problem. I'm not afraid of anything. But when you type something, try to type something productive. We want to be more productive. Bottom of the war. Well, we try to stop as much war as possible. And people were saying Trump didn't stop 7 war. And yesterday I already post the war he stopped. Some of them is not like big wars. I won't say it's a war. I would say it's a battle. Some small battle, but Trump step in, so it was not going to become big conflict. So that still count. And Trump didn't really care about the Nobel Peace Prize, but he said it many times already. He care about the life. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Logical view. Logical view. Who created the channel name called Logical View? This is very funny. Logical View. Very funny. Logical View. A lot of people, when they create the name, because they are not, there's something they want to be. So they create a name. They create a name, and hopefully they can be that, Especially this logical view. Because you don't have logical view, you create a name called yourself Logical View. This is funny, okay? This is funny. Way to go thinking. I have all that. I aced it, I aced all those already. So so you don't have to. but just looking at the name is maybe you better change it because I can. I cannot stop laughing. Oh, this is racist. Something wrong. How do you know my Chinese name? Something wrong. Tony. Tony, you are funny. Something wrong. Those are old jokes, Try to. We should have some. Oh yeah, this is okay. I think I saw you before, T Panda. Okay, 300 South Korea worker detained, okay? Because they don't have work permit, okay? Very simple, okay? So they gotta go. Epstein file. I already talked about that three episodes. In 3 episodes, I talked about that already, okay? So I'm not going to repeat myself. Just go back, find it yourself. It's okay. Well, thank you for all your comment. Okay, I love free speech, and I'm going to start. Oh, no. Okay. Where's my paper? Okay. Very funny. You guys are funny. I like this group. Because you got some something we call interaction. And I'm gonna put this video again, refresh, because if you were here yesterday, you probably you missed Trump's speech in at UN. Yeah. And then let's see. This one, okay? This is mainly about the climate change hoax. He also called green scam. Okay, it's really green scam. Oh, and also from this, and you can tell how much he cares about the world. It's a American first, mega American first. So he's like giving a warning to those people. This is a great leader. This is a great leader. Great world leader.
Powerful edge, a lot of the countries that we're talking about in oil and gas, such as essentially closing the great North Sea oil. Oh, the North Sea, I know it so well. Aberdeen was the oil capital of Europe, and there's tremendous oil that hasn't been found in the North Sea. Tremendous oil. And I was with the Prime Minister I respect and like a lot, and I said, you're sitting with the greatest asset. They essentially closed it by making it so highly taxed that no developer, no oil company can go there. They have tremendous oil left, and more importantly, they have tremendous oil that hasn't even been found yet. And what a tremendous asset for the United Kingdom. And I hope the Prime Minister is listening, because I told it to him 3 days in a row. That's all he heard. North Sea oil, North Sea, because I want to see them do well. I want to stop seeing them ruining that beautiful Scottish and English countryside with windmills and massive solar panels that go 7 miles by 7 miles, taking away farmland. But we're not letting this happen in America. In 1982, the executive director of the United Nations Environmental Program predicted that by the year 2000, climate change would cause a global catastrophe. He said that it will be irreversible, as any nuclear holocaust would be. This is what they said at the United Nations. What happened? Here we are. Another UN official stated in 1989 that within a decade, entire nations could be wiped off the map by global warming. Not happening. You know, it used to be global cooling. If you look back years ago in the 1920s and the 1930s, they said, global cooling will kill the world. We have to do something. Then they said global warming will kill the world. But then it started getting cooler. So now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss. It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. No more global warming, no more global cooling. All of these predictions made by the United Nations and many others often for bad reasons, were wrong. They were made by stupid people that have cost their countries fortunes and given those same countries no chance for success. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail. And I'm really good at predicting things, you know. They actually said during the campaign they had a hat, the best-selling hat. Trump was right about everything. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way, but it's true. I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail. And if you don't stop people that you've never seen before, that you have nothing in common with, your country is going to fail. I'm the president of the United States, but I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. They must take control strongly and immediately of the unmitigated immigration disaster and the fake energy catastrophe before it's too late. The carbon footprint is a hoax made up by people with evil intentions, and they're heading down a path of total destruction. You know, the carbon footprint was a big, big thing a few years ago. I remember hearing about the carbon footprint, and then President Obama would get into Air Force One, a massive Boeing 747, and not a new one, an old one with old engines that spew everything into the atmosphere. He'd talk about the carbon footprint, we must do so. Then he'd get in and he'd fly from Washington to Hawaii to play a round of golf. And then he'd get back onto that big, beautiful plane and he'd fly back and he'd talk about, again, global warming and the carbon footprint. It's a con job. At extreme cost and expense, Europe reduced its own carbon footprint by 37%. Think of that. Congratulations, Europe. Great job. You cost yourself a lot of jobs, a lot of factories closed, but you reduced the carbon footprint by 37%. However, for all of that sacrifice and much more, it's been totally wiped out and then some by a global increase of 54%. Much of it coming from China and other countries that are thriving around China, which now produces more CO2 than all the other developed nations in the world. So all of these countries are working so hard on the carbon footprint, which is nonsense, by the way. It's nonsense. You know, it's interesting. In the United States, we have still radicalized environmentalists, and they want the factories to stop. Everything should stop. No more cows. We don't want cows anymore. I guess they want to kill all the cows. They want to do things that are just unbelievable, and you have it too. But you know, we have a border, strong, and we have a shape, and that shape doesn't just go straight up. That shape is amorphous when it comes to the atmosphere. And if we had the most clean air, and I think we do, we have very clean air. We have the cleanest air we've had in many, many years. But the problem is that other countries, like China, which has air that's a little bit rough, it blows. And no matter what you're doing down here, the air up here tends to get very dirty because it comes in from other countries where their air isn't so clean. And the environmentalists refuse to acknowledge that. Same thing with garbage. In Asia, they dump much of their garbage right into the ocean. And over about a 1 week and 2 week journey, it flows right past Los Angeles. You've seen it. Massive amounts of garbage, almost too much to do anything about, flowing past Los Angeles, past San Francisco. And then somebody will get in trouble because he dropped a cigarette on the beach. The whole thing is crazy. The primary effect of these brutal green energy policies has not been to help the environment, but to redistribute manufacturing and industrial activity from developed countries that follow the insane rules that are put down to polluting countries that break the rules and are making a fortune. They're making a fortune. European electricity bills are now 4 to 5 times more expensive than those in China, and 2 to 3 times higher than the United States. And our bills are coming way down. You probably see that our gasoline prices are way down. You know, we have an expression, drill, baby, drill, and that's what we're doing. We're going to be much lower in a year from now. But they've come way down over the last year. As a result, every air conditioner is like very uncommon to see one in some of these countries because the electric costs are so high. So while the U.S. has approximately 1,300 heat-related deaths annually, that's a lot, Europe loses more than 175,000 people to heat deaths each year because the costs are so expensive you can't turn on an air conditioner. What is that all about? That's not Europe. That's not the Europe that I love and know. All in the name of pretending to stop the global warming hoax. The entire globalist concept of asking successful industrialized nations to inflict pain on themselves and radically disrupt their entire societies must be rejected completely and totally, and it must be immediate. That's why in America I withdrew from the fake Paris Climate Accord, where, by the way, America was paying so much more than every country. Others weren't paying. China didn't have to pay until 2030. Russia was given an old standard that was easy to meet, a 1990 standard. But for the United States, we're supposed to pay like $1 trillion. And I said, this is another scam. The fact is, the United States has been taken advantage of by the world for many, many years, but not any longer, as you probably noticed. I unleashed massive energy production and signed historic executive orders to hunt for oil, but we don't have to do much hunting because we have the most oil of any nation anywhere, oil and gas in the world. And if you add coal, we have the most of any nation in the world. Clean, I call it clean, beautiful coal. You can do things today with coal that you couldn't have done 10 years ago, 15 years. So I have a little standing order in the White House. Never use the word coal, only use the words clean, beautiful coal. Sounds much better, doesn't it? But we stand ready to provide any country with abundant, affordable energy supplies if you need them, when most of you do. We're proudly exporting energy all over the world. We're now the largest exporter. In the United States, we want trade and robust commerce with all nations, everybody. We want to help nations. We're going to help nations. But it must also be fair and reciprocal. The challenge with trade is much the same with climate. The countries that followed the rules, all their factories have been plundered. It's really sad to watch. They've been broken. They've been broken by countries that broke the rules.
Wow, so busy typing. And you can disagree. But see, this is the thing I talk so much. I've been speaking so many times. When we first start noticing politics, emotional involved, always, anything. Even you go buy a bottle wine or buy chips, okay? Always, first thing is emotion. You're emotional involved on the products, on the parties. And then what happened is after the emotion, people need to level up. After they level up, there's a 3 things they require, I call 3 pillars. That is knowledge, experience, and logic. Where's logical view still here, okay? Listen to this. Okay? So people are, first they got emotional because in 2016, we got fake news cover everything. We got overwhelming by fake news. And many people are emotion. Remember the Me Too movement? Okay, if you remember 2016 about the Me Too movement, or we say, oh, he's sexist, he disrespect women, blah 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 blah. Okay, racist, fascist. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, people get involved emotionally, but after that, many people in 2020 they start voting for Trump because they start next level. People are still in the same level, emotional level. Many TDS, I call them TDS or left thoughts. Okay, they still in the emotional level. They didn't go knowledge, get experience, and get logic. The logic part is very difficult. We call common sense. Okay. Left don't have common sense. Look at them. They are for crime. You know, the Democrat is pro criminals. What kind of common sense is that? They let it cut the dick off. They let the boy cut the dick off. They let the girl cut their boobs off. What kind of common sense they have? Okay. They are for women. They are for men playing women's sport. What kind of common sense? So you talk about logic, okay? And you are full of BS. Yeah, you are full of BS, okay, Carl? Everything I say, I have been so many videos already support my claim. Okay, I'm not going to like repeat myself because you are so dumb to do your homework yourself. I do my best because some people are just in the process of from the lower emotional level they're in the process of getting into the 3 pillars level. So they want to know the facts. Okay, so I present the facts. That's all I do. What Trump was saying, and you guys can listen, you guys can hear something else. See, when Trump was speaking, people were just saying, oh, first grade, second grade vocabulary. Okay? See, what are they hearing? Okay? Tony, don't cut and paste, okay? I'm going to time you out. Because we can, see, because we don't have other people has see I time out Tony Bononi Tony Bononi because he just cut and paste same message. What happened is people want to type in opinions, they cannot see because got flushed a spam by Tony's message. And this is not against free speech, okay? Because I want free speech for everyone. And you think I'm propaganda, okay? I'm not propaganda. Fake news is propaganda. That's how they get Charlie Kirk killed, the fake news media. Yeah, don't get me started, okay? It's awful. I'm going to show you. Here is the fact. What happened in Irving Park solar plant in Las Vegas? Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Peace, loving hater. Now I'm going to show you the solar plant we have damage and cost so much money for nothing. If the environmentalists, they really care about environment, okay, they will not approve this plan because they are so corrupt. This plan requires 2,000 to 5,000 people to maintain, so they can get jobs, okay? Job for those their own people, okay? So I'm going to show you the video right now.
A solar energy plant is getting flack for killing birds. These facilities in the desert are supposed to be the future of clean energy, but now federal wildlife officials want to pause their expansion until they get a handle on the growing number of bird deaths. It looks like a mirage in the middle of the Mojave Desert, but it's actually 170,000 sets of mirrors the size of garage doors called heliostats. How much power do you get from each one?
So this project will fuel 140,000 California homes. So effectively, one heliostat can power one California home.
Tom Doyle is the CEO of NRG, the company behind this $2.2 billion solar project. It's now under fire because the heat it produces, up to 900 degrees, is charring the feathers of birds flying through, often causing them to crash and die. Workers on site call them streamers because of the smoke plume created when the birds ignite in midair. In a report on avian mortality at 3 Southern California facilities, federal investigators found that these solar farms may act as a megatrap, attracting insects which in turn attract insect-eating birds, which are then incapacitated. More than 500 birds have died at one plant, and 1,000 more are expected to die every year at another.
They found mortalities at all 3 solar technologies, and they found a wide range of bird species being killed.
Birds often have a hard time navigating traditional barriers such as airplanes and windows. Wind farms kill more than 100,000 birds each year, but solar farms are a new obstacle. One solar company spent $22 million to protect and relocate hundreds of rare desert tortoises and is now worried about the birds. In a statement, the company said, "We are evaluating the use of humane avian deterrent systems similar to those employed by airports." Other solar fields are planned for the California desert, including one near Joshua Tree National Park, which is on a well-known flight path for migrating birds, eagles, and falcons. So right now there is no solution, but these solar plants plan to experiment with everything from light, sound, and even drones to try to scare the birds away so they can keep on flying.
900 degrees.
900 degrees.
Wow. All right, Ben, thank you.
Too many buttons. I also have to watching the comment. That is only that was 11 years ago, okay? When they first started, and they start finding out all those problems. And here is 3 years ago, update, new report, and the Democrat government don't care about any of it, okay? They keep saying they are environmentalists. They care about the animals and everything is bullshit from Democrats, okay? What everything they say, they sounds good but done nothing. Well, still have 200 people. Okay, thank you very much. Because this is the best part. They did a really good complete investigation, complete the investigation on all the data, and I will try to respond as much comment as possible at the same time.
Channel. But every time we do, we typically talk about photovoltaic, the process of taking in photons from sunlight, knocking out electrons in a semiconductor, and harnessing electricity. But there's actually another way to produce electricity from the sun, and that is a solar thermal energy plant. So one company had the crazy idea of actually building a large-scale power plant in just this way, in the high desert of Nevada. Unfortunately, Nevada's Crescent Dune solar thermal plant failed just a few years after they started. What the heck happened? Was this just a bad idea? Or was there a timing involved or some other aspect to the technology that we could learn from? We thought this epic failure deserved a deeper dive today on Tupa Da Vinci. Anybody who lives in Southern California, if you've driven to Vegas recently, you know that huge solar farm with mirrors everywhere? Yeah, that's Crescent Dune. I've seen it so many times and I wondered how they were doing. I figured they were doing well. Turns out not so much. Startup energy venture Solar Reserve, backed by a handful of renewable energy investment groups and a sizable bump from the US government, set out to develop what was going to be promised as a truly remarkable breakthrough in energy production and storage. We'll get to that. The project, as you mentioned, wasn't just another solar farm idea, but a concentrated solar power plant with a central receiver tower and advanced molten salt energy storage technology. So what exactly makes this kind of power plant different? Remember when you were a kid and you had a magnifying glass and you tried to burn ants, or in my case, burn initials on like a wooden fence? Well, that is pretty much the idea. The Crescent Dunes plant was located about 200 miles northwest of Las Vegas. It featured over 10,000 movable motorized mirrors called heliostats. Each heliostat is made up of 35 6 feet by 6 feet mirror facets, yielding a heliostat overall usable area of 1,200 square feet. And the total solar field aperture added up to about 12 million square feet. Each one of these mirrors is fine-tuned to bounce incoming solar radiation to a mathematically precise angle to hit the exact spot on the top of the tower containing a molten salt solution. The combined concentrated solar energy can reach temperatures of upwards of 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. CSPs, concentrated solar power, are generally considered to be more efficient, operating between 30 and 40% efficiency compared to 20% for a PV farm, and is capable of producing tens to hundreds of megawatts of power. Crescent Dune boasted an installed capacity of 110 megawatts. But what sets these systems apart from traditional PV farms is that they also have mechanisms to store the energy they produce. Instead of converting solar energy into electricity, CSPs convert solar energy into thermal energy, which they can then store in a molten salt core inside that 640-foot-high central tower. Once it's melted, the salt moves into a storage tank where it gets used to produce steam. That steam moves turbines, which then produce electricity so that the folks in Vegas can spend hours playing the slots. Just one more pull and I know I'm going to win big, right? That means the sun goes down and that plant is still producing energy long into the night. Once used, it can be cycled back to the receiver to the reheater. And it's such a game changer, in fact, that you could arguably not even need peaker power plants because, well, until maybe 2 a.m. in the morning, you wouldn't need to have any other form of energy. The prospect of Crescent Dune seems so exciting that the U.S. Department of Energy gave it its full support, including some financial backing to the tune of over $500 million. Initially, the plant was expected to produce over 40,000 megawatt hours every month and over 480,000 megawatt hours annually. From the get-go, construction delays offset deadlines by several months. Then by the time it finally got up and running in September 2015, the plant only operated for 8 months before it had to shut down due to a leak in the molten salt storage system. Basically like a flood of liquid, hot magma. That's the powers, baby. Yeah, not good. Even once all that was sorted, by 2018, the average capacity was only around 20% compared to the original projection of 50%. At its absolute peak production in May 2019, the company only achieved about half of its original production goals, and only about for 9 months. Regular outages and equipment failures eventually led the plant's sole buyer, Nevada Energy, to pull out of the arrangement, telling regulators that the project posed the most significant risk to its ability to meet the renewable energy portfolio goals. That that stings. Before the end of 2019, the plant officially ceased operation. So what exactly went wrong with the Crescent Dunes power plant? And is it a signal that all these people who hate green energy initiatives were right, that it can't actually work? But before I answer that, let me tell you about our sponsor this week, Lutema. I know masks and respirators can be controversial, but Lutema is the U.S. mask company that is manufacturing masks right here in San Diego. In the early days of the pandemic, the U.S. was caught totally off guard as mask manufacturing was happening in China, really showcasing the national security need for critical manufacturing right here at home. N95 and K95 standards can be confusing, but Lutema's custom M-Series line brings some clarity and even adds standards for children's masks. Their respirators up the performance from 95% to 99% filtration as tested, come in fun different colors, and are really pushing the industry for better public mask standards. In fact, you've probably seen some pretty famous people wearing their masks. Masks and respirators are just tools like any other, tools that can help us get back to normal, things like traveling for me and school for my son. So use the link lutema.com/discount/TBDV20 to save 20% on your order today. Huge thanks to Lutema and you for supporting the companies that support this show. While CSP technology does boast some benefits like energy storage after the sun goes down, it's still really early in the life cycle of development. One major factor is cost. When the technology began to debut in 2009, concentrated solar power cost per megawatt was extremely competitive with photovoltaic. Aside from the failure of pumps and maintenance and leaks in the molten salt reactor tank, there was a bigger problem. Projects like this take years to get off the ground. So odds are people who were building this technology were thinking about this and pitching investors as early as 2010. And I did the math. The cost of photovoltaic power was about $2 per watt. Well, then something really interesting happened. By 2020, that price has dropped from $2 all the way down to about 30 cents per watt. That is what the company didn't see coming. And this is a typical problem that many people face. When people think about adoption curves, they do not understand just how quickly they ramp up.
A question.
Sure.
If it's already built, why shut it down? Wouldn't it just keep on making energy?
That's a great question. The reason why it doesn't make sense anymore is because of the price you'd have to sell the energy to run at cost. So for example, imagine you have maintenance teams that are doing all the mirror cleaning up, right? You've got people greasing all the joints and stuff for the motors. You've got people dealing with the molten salt tank. That all costs money. So if you want to be able to pay all those salaries for the 5,000 people, 2,000 people, whatever it is, who are working at that plant, well, you got to be able to pay them. The only way to do that is to then take whatever you produce and sell that for an equivalent amount of money to be profitable. Right? Well, that number was about 4 times higher than a traditional solar panel farm. And for that reason, they spent $1 billion in the desert with these mirrors, and they can't even operate it. They can't turn it on because it would lose them money. That is the heartbreaking part about this. I love that they tried it, that investors gave it a shot. I love all that about it. I feel like this is a good telltale sign for all the innovators out there. Remember the S-curve of adoption. You got to remember that like electric vehicle adoption, battery technology adoption isn't going to be some slow curve. There's going to be a slow part and then it is going to ramp up in an S-curve fashion. This is the part of technology disruption that almost everybody gets wrong. People are saying EVs might be half of all car sales by 2040. I think that's way wrong. The price of solar has dropped so much that if you go back in time and think, okay, if you want to make a 40 megawatt hour plant, that would have cost $80 billion in photovoltaic panels to build a farm of comparable size. But today, it's only $12 billion, almost an 8x reduction in price. And that's what caused them so much trouble. Now, it's much harder for newer, less established technologies like CSP to compete. But by the end of its run, Crescent Dune was costing Nevada Energy $135 per megawatt hour. Compare that to roughly $30 per megawatt hour available from a PV farm located in the same area in Nevada. It just didn't make any financial sense. So fundamentally, this came down to an issue of scale. The thought was, sure, one photovoltaic panel makes sense, and if you get 10 of them on a roof for a customer, that's cool. But how are we going to build a plant that can produce 40,000 megawatt hours using these panels? The thought was that it would just cost too much to scale up. And that was kind of true back in 2010, but no one again saw the price drop issue. And this is one of those other challenges of engineering, which is understanding scale. For example, if I tried to make a pumped hydro storage system by taking a 5 or 25 gallon drum and putting it on my roof and pumping water up there when there's extra energy from the sun, and then letting it come back down and run a turbine when I needed it, I would be way in trouble, because that just isn't a cost-effective way in such a small scale. Pumped hydro can work. In the right location, when you have a large tank, a reservoir on top and bottom, you can make that very attractive in terms of cost per energy storage per kilowatt hour. But that doesn't work for a small system. And this is kind of the problem. They thought, I know, mirrors are cheap. We can build millions of mirrors, have motors, control it all. All of these parts are not really that exotic. We can build something at a much larger scale. But by doing so, you introduce a lot of complexion, moving parts. You have motors that need lubrication and maintenance for adjusting the mirror locations. And again, molten salt. You can imagine what that must be like to handle, right? And this was the problem. Don't worry, there's still going to be tons of solar power plants, but we're not going to probably see as many of these molten type. We will still see them. They are still out there, but I think photovoltaic prices have come down so much that it just makes way more sense to build future plants with them. But there is still one issue, right? We mentioned the concentrated solar thermal does have energy storage built right in. Molten salt is going to stay hot, and as long as it does, it can continue to make power after the sun goes down. This is just not going to be the case with photovoltaic, and that's where you got to couple these plants with battery storage. We did a video on the iron flow battery built by CSS. We had a little lab tour. We'll put a link in the video description here. They have a solution. Tesla has megapacks. There's going to be tons of storage coming online. And I think what we need to do is use photovoltaic for the generation, and we got to couple that with an easier, more efficient form of storage, as opposed to combining the two. So does Crescent Dune spell the end of solar thermal energy? Well, I think it will make it a harder pill to swallow in the future, but it's not over yet. New designs include alternative welding practices to improve methods of relocating heat and cold salt pumps to reduce the need for longer pumping shafts and reduce downstream infrastructure cost, which could help make CSP technology more accessible. Endeavors like China's Subcon Solar have exceeded 6-month output targets at its Belinga Tower in Qinghai Province. Bright Source's solar thermal system in California's Mojave Desert currently sits at the largest solar thermal plant in the world. And while Crescent Dune ultimately failed, data mined from its collapse is continuing to inform current and future projects in hopes of making this technology more reliable and cost-effective. But what do you think? Is CSP technology going to be the solar wave of the future? Should the US government place itself in the position of playing benefactor on new green technology at the taxpayer's expense? And what other green energy production and storage technologies are you excited about? Sound off in the comments below. But before you go, real quick, we have just enough time for the comment of the week. Become my favorite part of the show, by the way. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. So the first comment comes from Mitchell Smith.
1.5 million views only, this channel. The description, you can click the link, and then there's a link, so you can subscribe his channel. Just a lot of information. See, they study, they give out data, they did a lot of homework, and well, because I have to use his video, so I pay, what's that called? What's this? This is like support, show support. So I did show support and pay them because I'm using his video. So this is how it works. Nothing is free, but I hope you guys can go follow his channel too. Okay, now I want to show, you got a lot of people saying a lot of things, and then this is what I also learned. Okay, from Gemini. Cause all those, they already talked about it. Oh, yeah, it's already talked about it. And we are about to shut it down. That plan is scheduled to be shut down. Its main customer, okay, who's the Pacific Gas? Is it the company's Oyster? Oyster, let me see. Is it Oyster? You say, someone tell me the company that does that. But the company buying the electricity from them is PG&E. And everyone who PG&E customer, they know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Army. Yeah. And oh, okay. So everything we can do nowadays is very easy. Like Blake was asking question. I will do some I can look it up very easily. Okay. But the main thing is I want to find out the problem about the plan, and then the environmental problem is a big problem. And they said, oh, you care about the bird. No, it's not about the bird, because the ecosystem. Okay. So we need to know about those, and the consumption cost effectively, the money that we have to pay, and we don't get the return. If it's foreign company, I have bigger question mark on are they ripping us off, because we've been ripped off by many foreign company. Yeah. And Democrats, you know, they got kickback. They got kickback from all those. So the output is not as good. I mentioned it in the video. Okay. So something we know about it, and many things that Trump was saying, we can find it from the internet. Many people has covered those topics already, like windmill, and oh man, how many volt? It's very expensive to build a windmill, and I have another because all the lubrication, they require petroleum oil anyway. Okay. And parts repair, and that's why, and the generate the electricity is not enough. When you are talking about like Danish, what do they build? Do they have manufacturer? Huge manufacturer. Okay. When you talk about only residential, it's different story. Okay. Blake still here? Yeah, Blake still here. When we talk about just for residential, it's different story. But we are industrial. We have to provide manufacture too, and also the data center. All those require energy, and those solar, wind power, clean energy, just not enough. It's not enough. If those are enough, you can see, for example, you can look at China. Okay, they still use coal power. They still use nuclear power. They use solar. They do use solar and wind too. Okay, water too. Okay, but at the end, they still need so much coal. Those coal generator, coal plants. Okay. Jason, you don't certify wind turbine senior technician. You are arguing with a certified wind turbine senior technician and EHS manager. Okay, so who you're talking about? Who? I don't know who you're talking about. Okay. I'm trying to look at all the old We talk about millisecond. Okay, engineer, since you're so smart, okay, let's see, how smart are you? Okay, are you smarter than this? Is this correct? The bird was talking about the solar in Las Vegas, and this above cutout speed. So we won't kill so much bird. You're trying to say. But the video is not talking about the wind turbine. The video was talking about the solar plant in Vegas, in Nevada. Okay, so don't mix up. Nowadays it's very easy to find out all the information. So if you want, just go ChatGPT, just paste. Mine is easier, just show you. Okay, just show people the wind farm technician, then you know your business is definitely dying right. Okay, yeah. I'm not here really. Well, wind power is more interesting. Yeah, wind power. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot tell you which one is better. I just tell you I don't like any of them because it's not enough. Okay, are you going to tell me it's enough to for all those supercomputer or data center? So if you can come up with the number and generate enough power for all those manufacturer, I can give you one example. Okay, when Taiwan shut down the nuclear plant, they suffer. Okay, because they don't have enough power. Yes. Okay, I will find out data center, how much energy they require, and then what kind of green energy they can generate. You know, all those. It's not difficult right now. It's very easy. All in AI. All AI can they can do all the calculation already. So I don't think it's much a problem. So all those, if it works, then you know what Bill Gates is trying to do right now, the portable nuclear plant. Portable, the small, very small car size, very small one. You can put one in your house. So small, you can put one in your house. And he says it's very safe. So I don't know, Bill Gates, Bill Gates' mind. Okay? So Bill Gates coming up something, everyone is coming up something. And at the end, we are the one get ripped off. So that's why President Trump is trying his best. Just, oil is not gasoline. Yeah, oil refinement become gasoline. Okay. Anyway, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for all your comment. Yeah, and we just pay attention on what Trump is saying instead of just jump into conclusion. Jump into conclusion and then interpret his speech. That's what I'm hoping people can do. You know, we listen to what he say. He can make mistake. We know who he is after all these years. Of course, he think he's right, but he care. The main thing is he care about the people. He care about a country. Yeah. He care about life. Okay. He care about the next generations, and he care about manufacture, workers, jobs. You know. Yeah. So yesterday video. If you didn't watch it, I will recommend you watch it. And thank you very much. I appreciate all your comment, and I appreciate thank you for all your new subscribers. Okay, I will see you. If I come up something better, more information, I will try my best. Wind turbine don't run off wind. Yeah, I know. So comment is very funny. Yeah, thank you. Good. Gabriel. Okay, you are a troll. Lost people. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, it's been up a January. Oh yeah. Thank you very much. I see you next time. Bye bye.